Honorable Oparanya, in order for the committee to gauge your suitability, I'll ask you one question about your key achievements as governor, and then ask you to give us your vision of this Ministry of Cooperatives and Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises, and particularly on your experience at Kakamega County. As you know, the Constitution mandates the county governments to oversee trade development and cooperatives, and it's a key factor of devolution. So we would like to know what measures did you take to support that when you were in Kakamega County, and your vision for the new ministry if confirmed. But start with your key achievements as governor. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. Unfortunately, cooperatives are not well developed in Kakamega County. We had few coffee cooperative and I think dairy cooperatives, and then we had fish cooperative. And the coffee cooperative was not doing well. In fact, it had collapsed. And when I came in as a governor, I found only one staff who was working, who was then working under the Ministry of Agriculture. Only one staff who was in charge of cooperative. So obviously, cooperative being a very important vehicle for economic development, I had to beef up that particular unit. I assigned 2 people to that, to the staff, and made him director of cooperatives at that time. And then from there, I made a provision in the budget, allocation, in order to revive cooperatives in the county. And that time, I made a provision of 20 million so that I could support the 3 cooperatives that were there. And after a short time, because I found cooperatives were very important, I made that particular unit to be separate under a chief officer so that we had a proper focus to it. And as I left, there was actually a chief officer who was in charge of cooperatives. But my people had not embraced cooperatives. We could support them, then because of poor management, resources could be misused. So that's the problem that I encountered when in Kakamega County.
Thank you. Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. CS nominee, Honorable Wycliffe Oparanya, as part of the vetting process, we do write to EACC, and when the clerk wrote to EACC on your suitability, amongst others who had been nominated to serve as cabinet secretaries, EACC had a reservation on your nomination as a cabinet secretary, and they said they had conducted investigations on allegations of corruption against you when you served as a governor of Kakamega County, on also conflicts of interest, abuse of office, and money laundering. And they did recommend to the DPP that you be prosecuted for those offenses. They also aver that you went ahead and obtained conservatory orders from a Kakamega Constitution and Human Rights Court in petition E019 of 2023, and that matter is still pending in court. But they were able to get conservatory preservation orders against your assets, specifically some 28 million shillings, I believe, which was in some bank account. And CS nominee, now you are here before us. I would want you to shed more light on these allegations of corruption, abuse of office, conflicts of interest, and money laundering, because you will agree those are very serious and grave allegations against your person for the time you served as Governor Kakamega County. And now you are being given a bigger job, not in a county, but in the nation. A job that will entail you overseeing not just the cooperative sector, but also the micro, small, medium enterprises development in the country. And this is a position that calls for you to be of impeccable integrity. It's a job that will require you to give Kenyans confidence that they can trust you with their cooperatives' money. I heard you say in Kakamega the cooperative movement is not very strong, but you know the cooperative movement in this country is among the richest and most developed in sub-Saharan Africa. Therefore, this is a sector that requires a man of impeccable integrity and someone that Kenyans and cooperators in this country can trust that their money is safe with them. Will cooperators' money be safe in your hands?
Thank you very much. The corporate money would be very safe in my hands, Mr. Chungwa.
You answer this, nominee, but next time you wait for me to motion, because sometimes we'll take about 3 questions in a row.
Oh, okay.
But you answer this before we go to the others.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, Chairman, the facts are not true. Nobody, and I want to say in front of the cameras, nobody has come to me to write a statement. I don't know, this prosecution is one-sided. I've never been given a chance to say my story. In August 2023, you remember what was happening. I was very active in demonstrations that time, August 2023. When I was in those demonstrations, I was called by someone to be told, because I was in demonstration, the EACC were looking for me. And I asked that person, what has the EACC to do with the demonstrations? I have served diligently for 10 years. I've been a minister for 5 years. We have had audit reports. This audit report, there is no report that pointed on me as being a corrupt person. And if you remember, when I was Minister for Planning, the ministry was voted the best performing ministry. You can look at your records. When I was governor, everywhere they are saying where devolution is working is Kakamega County. If I'm lying, check your records. I worked for 10 years, nobody came to my office about any corrupt case until August 2023, when we were doing maandamano. And when they came to my house, it was even not about corruption. The first question they asked, what business do you do with Raila Amolo Odinga? I don't do any business with Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga is just my party leader. That is the only relationship I have with him. Secondly, I was asked, do you keep guns in this house? Obviously, why would I be keeping guns in my house? The third question I was asked, that where do you get money that you fund demonstrations? So what has those questions to do with corruption? So as I sit here, Honorable Chairman, nobody has come to take any statement from me So I don't know what I'm being accused for, because I'm also just seeing it in the papers as you are seeing. So that is where I am, Mr. Chairman. But even before then, my lawyer got possession of the documents when they went to court to freeze my money. And the money was not in the account. The money was with CPF, where I was buying a property. So when CPF were called by EACC to write a statement, they are the ones who alerted me that they were following the money that I had paid CPF, which had nothing to do with the Kakamega account. This was money from my account and money from someone who was buying my house that I was selling. So that's how it was. And nobody has come out until when now the person who was buying my house withdrew and wanted me to refund his money. I didn't have the money to refund because it had been frozen.
Chair. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, Majority Leader.
To interrupt, Governor. Just to be clear, two things. First, who are these who came to the house? EACC or ordinary police?
You wouldn't know them because they never introduced themselves. There were about 20. So some were in police uniform, some were in civilian uniform.
They never introduced themselves as EACC officers?
They said they are EACC officers, but I can't remember their names. There was one that introduced himself. The rest never introduced themselves.
Then the money you are referring to is this money that is has conservatory orders?
Yeah, the money was not in my account. It was with CPF where I was buying
CPF,
the house.
this is a county provident fund?
Yes.
You are buying a house from CPF?
Yes.
So you had transferred the money to CPF?
CPF.
And the conservatory orders were put on the CPF account or on your account?
Yes. No, to the CPF account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jeanette, Minority Leader.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. Chairman, my questions begin from this. Mr. Nominee, these investigations that EACC is talking about, are you saying here on camera on open day that you have never written any statement?
I'm saying here in the camera that I have never been called to write a statement up to this moment. So I don't know even what I'm being accused for, because if I knew, I would have explained. But I just read it in the papers like the way you read it.
So this file that we are seeing that has gone all the way to the DPP doesn't have any of your statement?
Can you go and check that file? I have never written a statement.
It will be easier
to
just answer the question.
Yeah.
Because even if you tell him to go, he will not. Just answer the question as it's asked.
I have no statement in that file as I sit here, unless I will have it tomorrow.
So, these conservatory orders that you applied for in Kakamega, what made you apply for it?
I applied for it because my family was harassed.
Yes.
And because the way these people were asking me questions about the guns, about my relationship with my party leader, I got scared. And the way they harassed my children, they took their phones. I didn't know what was going to happen next time. So I decided, why can't I go to court to protect me? And that's why I went there. And according to the Constitution, I'm not supposed to be searched the house. It is there in the Constitution. So I was using my rights.
You can be searched, but with a court order.
Yeah.
Yes. If they come with a court order, they can search. If they don't have a court order, it's another story.